Howdy Connection Group leaders, happy Thursday. I am broadcasting to you today from Seattle, Washington. I'm actually sitting in the parking lot of the Starbucks headquarters, which you can see is pretty massive. There's that giant tower up there. That's not the best shot of it. Inside is by far the fanciest Starbucks I've ever been to. So the students are actually in there with Wes right now getting some coffee. I thought this is a perfect time for me to get away and talk to y'all for a minute. I love that we're talking about Ephesians 2 while we have people in Seattle, and here's why. Ephesians 2 is all about God's grace, and the essential element of God's grace. It is by grace we're saved through faith, not so that we can boast, but so that God can do his work through us, right? So like that's the important order, okay? We're saved by grace, so Jesus' work, okay? It's undeserved. We don't deserve it even a little bit, but because of his love and his greatness and his mercy and his majesty, he did the work so that we could be saved. So by his grace, we're saved. He does it through faith. That's all he asks of is just believe, trust that he can and has done for us what needs to be done. And then he saves us for good works. So after we become his fully, we've always been his, but after we're redeemed and we're adopted into his family, he saves us for good works. So again, just like we looked at last week, our salvation's not just for ourselves. It's so that we can do the things that he's purposed for our lives. So we're saved by grace through faith for good works. That order is so essential. Here's why I love that we're here. The second half of the chapter is all about the division between the Jews and the Gentiles. The Jews were so arrogant, right? And they looked at other people, they looked down on other people and said all the time, like, oh, they're so unholy, they're so wicked, they're so wild. And if I'm honest, it's really easy to look around this place up here and go, these people are lunatics. Lord, like, what do you want to do with them? And that's no different than how the Jews treated the Gentiles. And the beauty of the gospel is this: it's for everyone. And it takes the same amount of blood for Jesus to save me as it takes for him to save anybody up here, regardless of where they're coming from or what they believe or what they've done. All of those things are irrelevant. It's not who your mama is that gets you saved. It's not what you've done that gets you saved. It's Jesus' grace that gets you saved. And the very last verse, if it just needed one little more cherry on the top, the fact that we're here in Seattle with our church plant, the very last verse says this. I want to read this to you. It says, in him you are also being built into a dwelling place for God by the Spirit. I don't know if you know this or not, but the church plant up here is called the dwelling place. That's who we're here to serve. So pray for the students and I. Pray that we don't freeze. It's 61 degrees right now. That's 50 degrees cooler than what it was yesterday when we left. So pray for us in all sincerity that we serve well. Continue to pray for Wes and Adrian and his team, that God would continue to bless them and open doors. Pray that our hearts would see the people of Seattle the same way that Jesus sees us. We were sinners that needed saving. The people here are sinners that needed saving. And Jesus is able, and he gives us the privilege of being a part of the process. So rejoice with us that we have that opportunity. Pray that God will give us lots of those opportunities. Pray that he will keep saving folks. And then finally, pray for us on Sunday that we would just celebrate that grace in a mighty, magnificent way. May we never, ever, 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 ever get tired of hearing the fact that we're saved by grace through faith so that we get to be a part of Jesus' team and do his work. Guys, I love y'all. Can't wait to see you when we get home. I'm sure we'll have some great stories. We'll talk to you later. Bye.